Hello, beautiful soul. If you've been feeling a little more tender than usual, a little more reactive to the hidden currents around, you know this. It's not your imagination. The energy this week is dense. And as a Scorpio, you are more open than most to what's unseen and unspoken. Your sensitivity, your depth, your powerful intuition, it's all being stirred, activated, and perhaps even tested. As a Scorpio, you're known for your intensity and passion. This week, you'll be especially susceptible to negative energy. So it's important to avoid certain places. This video provides 3 specific locations to steer clear of, helping you to stay grounded and positive. That's not just advice, it's a spiritual necessity right now. When you absorb too much, your inner waters become turbulent. What you need is clarity, protection, and conscious navigation. That's what this message is here to offer. Want to maximize your energy and avoid negativity this weekend? As a Scorpio, you're extra sensitive this weekend. So I'm sharing 3 places to steer clear of, to keep your mood high and your energy flowing. These aren't just tips, they are sacred boundaries for your emotional well-being. Because this weekend, what you choose to avoid will be just as important as what you choose to embrace. So take a deep breath with me, and let's walk together through this awareness. You're not here by accident. Let's begin. And now that you're here, let's go deeper, because understanding your own power is the first act of protection. Embrace your power. Understanding Scorpio energy. This isn't just a phrase, it's a call to remembrance. Scorpio energy is not light and fleeting, it is molten, primal, transformative. It moves like underground rivers, like shadows cast by fire. You are not someone who floats on the surface, you dive. You submerge. You feel it all. That intensity, that passion, that almost supernatural sensitivity to the vibrations of people, places, and emotions. This is your gift. But during times like this, it can also feel like a burden. Scorpio energy is intense and passionate, making them highly sensitive to external influences. This week, that truth becomes even more vivid. The celestial alignment subtle, yes, but potent, amplifies everything. It's as if your emotional field is turned up to maximum volume. And even the whispers of negativity can feel like shouting. Places that used to feel neutral may now leave you drained. Interactions that once rolled off your back may now cut a little deeper. This isn't weakness. Dear Scorpioids, the evidence that your spirit is wide awake and wide open. This week's celestial alignment amplifies this sensitivity, making it crucial to be mindful of negative energy. This is not the moment to pretend you're unaffected. This is the time to listen to your body's tension, your spirit's contractions, your gut's quiet warnings. The universe is speaking through these sensations, asking you to choose wisely, to avoid what dims your light, to step away from what pulls you out of alignment. You do not owe your presence to any space that feels heavy. You do not need to prove your strength by staying somewhere that chips away at your peace. By staying aware and taking proactive steps, Scorpios can ensure they stay grounded and positive. And this is where your true power lies. Not in resisting what you feel, but in honoring it. You are allowed to protect your peace with fierce devotion. You are allowed to walk away, to say no, to shield your energy like it's sacred, because it is. The steps may be simple: avoiding a place, declining an invitation, turning off your phone for a few hours, but their impact ripples through your entire field of being. When you stay grounded in your truth, when you guard your emotional landscape like a temple, you do more than survive. You reclaim your wholeness. You rise. And that, Scorpio, is your real magic. Let's begin with the first space you may need to gently step away from, because sometimes protection looks like knowing where not to be. Toxic energy zone. 1. Crowded shopping malls. While others might move through these places with ease, for you, Scorpio, the energy is simply too loud, too fractured, too unfiltered. The chaos, the rush, the unconscious energy of 1,000 people, moving in different directions, it all comes at you like a wave. And this week, when your spiritual senses are dialed up to their most receptive setting, that wave doesn't just touch. You crashes through your nervous system. The artificial lighting buzzes with unnatural frequency. The fluorescent glow dulling your inner light and disconnecting you from your intuition. The noise, the layered conversations. Announcements. The relentless music becomes more than just background. It invades your aura, chipping away at the stillness you so desperately need to hear yourself. For a sign that thrives in the quiet, in the depths, in the sanctity of inner knowing. This kind of environment is not just overstimulating, it's depleting. You may leave such places feeling energetically hollow, with emotions that aren't even yours, clinging to you like static. And that's why this week, you are best served by choosing serenity over stimulation, stillness over noise, and softness over the clamor of the external world. You are not avoiding life, you are preserving your soul's balance. You are choosing spaces where your energy can breathe, where you can exhale fully without needing to shield yourself from invisible attacks. Whether that looks like a walk in nature, a quiet corner in your favorite cafe, or simply staying home and tuning inward, it's a sacred act of self-honoring. You're not missing out by avoiding the crowd, you're tuning into something far more important. Yourself. The second space to be mindful of this week isn't always loud or crowded, it can appear deceptively warm, familiar, even inviting. Toxic energy zone 2. Gossip. Filled gatherings. These are the social circles where words become weapons cloaked in laughter, where stories are shared not to connect, but to tear others down in their absence. And for you, Scorpios are deeply intuitive, so emotionally porous. This kind of environment is not just unpleasant. It is spiritually corrosive. You don't just listen to conversations, you feel them. You read the microshifts in body language. You pick up on unspoken resentments. And you carry home the energy of those dynamics long after the room has emptied. This week, when your sensitivity is heightened, your aura becomes like a sponge for other people's projections, disappointments, and hidden motives. And gossip, no matter how casually spoken, carries a frequency of judgment, betrayal, and fear for a soul as fiercely loyal and emotionally honest as yours. Being around that kind of vibration can create a quiet storm within, leaving you anxious, depleted, and out of sync with your own truth. So, instead of forcing yourself into settings where the air is thick with hidden tension, choose stillness and sincerity. Prioritize connections that feel nourishing to your spirit, not just entertaining to the moment. Spend time with those whose energy calms you, whose presence feels like home, whose words lift rather than slice. You don't need the noise of shallow interactions, you need depth, resonance, and the quiet knowing that you are loved without performance. This week, choose sacred company over social obligation. Choose truth over noise. Choose peace over performance. And you'll find your energy restored in ways you didn't even realize you were missing. And finally, we arrive at a zone that's perhaps the most silently corrosive of all, not a physical space, but a digital one. Toxic energy zone 3. Social media overload. This week, dear Scorpio, your inner landscape is far too rich, too deep, too delicately tuned to be bombarded by the relentless noise of other people's lives, opinions, and curated perfection. The scrolling never really stops, does it? The flood of images, the headlines laced with fear, the highlight reels masked as reality, it all pours in, hour after hour, into a nervous system that's already carrying so much. And while it might seem harmless, like a habit to pass the time, deep down it affects you more than you admit. Scorpios are born with penetrating perception. You don't just see a photo or a post. You feel the energy behind it. You notice the subtle performance, the desperation for validation, the coded envy in comment sections, And even when you're not consciously comparing, your psyche picks up the frequency of lack, of false connection, of unspoken discontent. This week, as your emotional and energetic boundaries are thinner than usual, that overload can lead to a quiet unraveling, leaving you questioning your path, your pace, your worth. It happens slowly, like erosion, but the impact is real. So this is your invitation not to disconnect out of avoidance, but to unplug as an act of radical self-care. Put down the phone, not because you're weak, but because you're wise. Redirect your attention to what nourishes you: a good book that stirs your imagination, music that brings you back to your center, a walk beneath the trees where the only algorithm is nature's rhythm. Social media may offer stimulation, but your soul is craving restoration. This week, give yourself that space. Let your energy reassemble in silence. Let your worth be recalibrated not by metrics or likes, but by the truth of your own spirit. Because no mirror, digital or otherwise, can reflect your depth the way your inner knowing can. And when you return, if you choose to, you'll come back not to be consumed, but to contribute something real. So as the days unfold and the energy of this week continues to deepen, remember this truth: your energy is not unlimited, but it is sacred and it deserves to be treated as such. Protecting your energy. Tips for a positive week. This is not just about avoiding negativity, but about consciously choosing what feeds your spirit. You are not here to merely endure, you are here to feel, to grow, to experience joy that is rooted in truth and connection. And joy, for someone like you, doesn't come from distractions or surface-level noise. It comes from alignment. Engage in activities that nourish the soul, such as spending time in nature, pursuing hobbies, or practicing mindfulness. Let the simplicity of a walk under open skies remind you of your place in the great unfolding. Let your hands create something right. Paint, plant, cook, anything that invites your spirit to come out and play. Let your breath slow down long enough for your thoughts to settle, for your intuition to rise like steam from a still lake. You do not need permission to rest. You do not need to earn the right to feel peace. You only need to remember that your well-being is the foundation for everything you offer the world. Surround yourself with positive energy by connecting with loved ones who support and uplift you. This week, be intentional about who you let near your inner world. Not everyone deserves access to your thoughts, your time, or your tenderness. Spend time with those who see you, not just your surface, but the truth of who you are. The ones who celebrate your depth, not fear it. The ones who listen without needing to fix, who love without needing you to shrink. One meaningful conversation, one warm moment of eye contact, one shared silence can shift the entire trajectory of your emotional field. Remember, your energy is precious. Protect it not out of fear, but from a place of deep self-respect. You are not here to be everything for everyone. You are not here to carry what does not belong to you. So this week, say yes to what uplifts. Say no to what drains. Make peace your compass and joy your home. The more you honor your own rhythm, the more the universe aligns in response. You are not behind. You are not too much. You are exactly where you are meant to be, learning, healing, and slowly becoming more of yourself. And that, Scorpio, is the most powerful thing you can do. And so, dear Scorpio, as this week unfolds with all its unseen currents and quiet invitations, remember this: your sensitivity is not a flaw, it is your greatest compass. In a world that moves too fast and speaks too loud, your ability to feel deeply, to sense truth beneath the surface, to honor your emotional tides, that is your strength. Let this be the week you choose. Softness over struggle, intention over impulse, and presence over pressure. You do not need to fight the world to protect your energy. You only need to choose what aligns with your soul. Avoid what dims you. Move toward what revives you. Give yourself permission to rest, to say no, to be still. The universe speaks to those who are listening. And right now, it's speaking to you with clarity and grace. So take this as your sign. Protect your light. Nurture your spirit. Trust your instincts. And above all, honor yourself, not just this week, but in every moment to come. Until next time, stay grounded, stay guarded, and never forget the power that lives quietly within you. You are your own sanctuary.